You might have heard about LGBTQ+, but what exactly is it? It represents an acronym that stands for describing the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and other distinct groups within the gay culture. How did the Pride Month begin? I'm Aurelian, and this is Studylia audio experience. This is the place where we learn new things and exercise our mind so it becomes faster, stronger, and better. If you like our content, smack that like button, subscribe to our channel, and join the notification squad. How the whole thing with the Pride Month actually began? The Stonewall Riots, also known as the Stonewall Uprising, began on June 28, 1969 in New York City. Back then, homosexuality was considered a criminal offense, which provided an open door for raids and police brutality. The Stonewall Inn was one of the most popular gay bars in New York City, owned by mafia. As long as they made profit, they cared very little about what happened to their clientele. During those times, the police raids on gay bars and spaces were simply a phenomenon happening across the United States. During the early morning hours of June 28, 1969, officers from the New York Police Department arrived at Stonewall Inn. The police justified the raid with a search warrant authorizing them to investigate the illegal sale of alcohol in Stonewall. The raid was routine for a bar like Stonewall, but this time events did not unfold according to the plans. Everything started on an early morning when a police officer was forced into a patrol car. The crowd started to scream, "Police brutality! Pigs!" while throwing cones and bottles. Most of the crowd dispersed by 4 a.m. on June 28, but the uprising was far from over. News about the Stonewall event spread quickly throughout the city. The series of events stretched over 6 days and gathered thousands of protesters in the surrounding area, starting with that evening of June 28. The very first Pride March in New York City was held on 28 June 1970, on the one-year anniversary of Stonewall Uprising. This was meant to give the community a chance to gather together to commemorate the Christopher Street Uprising of last summer, in which thousands of homosexuals went to the streets to demonstrate against centuries of abuse, from government hostility to employment and housing discrimination, mafia control of gay bars, and anti-homosexual laws. Since then, LGBTQ+ people have continued to gather together in June to march with pride, and the Stonewall Inn has now been designed as the national monument. Even right now, June 28th, 2021, people around the world are gathering together to march with pride and demonstrate for equal rights. Yet, around the world, many lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people do not have equal rights and are not free to express themselves. In more than 17 countries, it's still actually a crime to be a gay. Even in countries with legal equality, many LGBTQ+ people face discrimination or violence for expressing themselves. At Studylia.com, we believe that it's time to take a stance against discrimination. We stand together for the right to love the person you choose. We stand together for loving families of all kinds. Join us on all social media channels and let's stand together for equality.